The Great Pyramid of the Egyptian king Cheops was built more than 45 centuries ago. It was the first of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one still standing. Quebec now boasts a pyramid of its own. It's much more modest in size, but according to its builder, it is just as wonderful and mysterious and powerful as the ancient pyramids have long been believed to be by their many admirers throughout the ages. King Cheops used 100,000 men and 22 years to build his pyramid, which eventually became his tomb. Jean St-Germain built his in 3 months with the help of a dozen or so workers, mostly relatives and friends. Even so, it cost him $500,000. His intuition told him that if he built a pyramid on an insulated base, and if he made it with granite, it would have healing and regenerative powers.
I was sure that would work. I don't know how, but I know it's worked.
Why? How do you know?
I feel it.
He started building without anything written down. An architect came into it after he started because the law requires plans to be filed. Not many people could go with their intuition and spend $500,000 just to try out their idea, but with Jean St-Germain, trying out ideas is a way of life. He's an inventor, a very successful inventor. Like Leonardo da Vinci, it was fascination with flying that first stimulated his imagination.
I dream fly myself around the building and everywhere.
His first invention had nothing to do with flying, though. One night, when he was 16 years old, he was sitting for his older brother's baby.
His wife told me, don't forget, after she take up the bottle, give him some shake in the back and...
You have to burp the baby.
Yeah. I said, that's a crazy thing. And that's why I saw him drink the milk, and sometime I take up the bottle and the hair comes inside. So I said, okay, I take a balloon, put a balloon inside and drill a hole in the bottle, and I tried it, it's worked.
Even though his idea made millions for the Playtex company, St-Germain sold it for $1,000. He has no complaints.
It's lots of money because I work about 3 hours, That's $1,000 for 3 hours, so I don't know, because I will have another idea, so it's like a designer.
After a 3-year stint in the Army, where he learned to parachute jump, Jean discovered people would pay to see him jump. He eventually bought a DC-3 and started a parachute jumping school, which in turn helped to get him into all kinds of flight-related inventions. The first one was a flying rowboat. He managed to get himself a good dunking before perfecting that one. He never sold any, but once again, he found people were willing to pay to watch him fly it as he was towed along by a powerful motorboat. Jean was married in 1959, and he took his new bride, Adrienne, parachute jumping on their honeymoon. The St-Germains have 12 children today, and many of them share their parents' enthusiasm for the air.
And I have a girl, you have pilot license for helicopter.
Really?
Yes.
How old is she?
Now she's 20, but when she studies her lessons, she was only 17. I think she was the youngest in the Quebec at this moment.
By the late 60s, Jean had a little factory where he produced a one-man flying machine he called a gyrocopter. But they didn't sell, and he lost everything. He didn't get discouraged. He started over again. He built a hovercraft on contract. He invented a toy that sold quite well for a while. In 1973, he invented a rotary piston engine, which aroused so much interest that 95 people eventually invested in it.
Yes, there is very smooth, no vibration, the sound is very low, pollution is very low.
But the Japanese were already developing the Wankel rotary engine, and his got lost in the shuffle.
I keep that, and one day maybe that will be the market.
But it's his original fascination with flight that has made St-Germain a rich man. His aerodium, a sort of giant silo for simulating skydiving, has been a familiar sight just off Route 20, a few minutes east of Saint-Hyacinthe. Last year, he sold the international rights to his idea for an estimated $1.5 million. It's already been installed at Las Vegas. And his knowledge of aerodynamics gave him the idea of the now familiar deflector for transport trucks. They save more than 10% on fuel costs, and they've made Jean St-Germain a fortune. He says it was easy.
There are turbulence, air, so that's why when you know the aircraft and thing, you can feel the air.
But here you've got thousands, hundreds of thousands of men and women driving trucks for years, driving trucks and feeling that drag, and nobody thought of it.
You have a suit on you, but maybe you cannot make the suit, eh?
Jean St-Germain's original idea was for a huge pyramid, which he would have called the Citadel of Peace. Although he didn't ask for any financing, the government turned him down because it was against the agricultural zoning laws. It would have attracted too many people to the area. But he's still pleased with this modest effort, and it has had surprising benefits for those who've used it. Jean does most of his thinking and talking in a highway restaurant near his operation. Jean explained the principle of how the pyramid works over coffee the other day. The pyramid is insulated from the ground, so when you stand in the shallow pool of water at the pyramid's center, you're grounded. The benefits come from standing in the pyramid's magnetic field.
Magnet here is the cosmos, all the stars together, okay? And the pyramid itself is the granite. And the granite is 55% quartz. And the quartz vibration is equal to the human vibration. Quartz like a watch, eh? That it's all the time today 7,086 frequency by second. When you think, it's the same frequency.
The first time he tried his pyramid, Jean had a bizarre experience. 5 numbers came into his head. He wrote them down and went home and asked his wife to spin a roulette wheel they had.
And my wife spin the roulette. And those 5 numbers come out direct one after one. It's come 70 millions. Change to last, one change to win. And I do it. So that's why I decide to go on the 28th and the 1st of this month to the casino Tropicana.
In Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
So in a few hours, Jean St-Germain will go into his pyramid to spend the night. And during that time, he'll write down some 2,000 numbers. Then tomorrow morning, he'll fly to Atlantic City.
I will bet 1,000, but with this 1,000 and not more, I should go up to 1 million in 2 days.
This is very strange for you to talk like this, because here you are, you're a very practical man. You invent things, engines, you invent Playtex baby bottle and the nose cone for trucks and all these things, very practical things. And now you're going to go into a pyramid and come up with some numbers. I mean, it just doesn't, it's not very scientific.
It's only to prove that the subconscious of a person is your best friend.
It's your best friend, probably, but how can it pick out the numbers that
Because most people know that roulette, mathematically, is not possible. But if I do it, that's mean it's possible.